All right, something a little different. I'm going to have a go at the Observer's new barred cryptic crossword, Gemelo, I don't know how you pronounce it. I have tried it once before and I got about, I don't know, a quarter of the way complete in a very long time. So I'm not very confident. So, but anyway, let's see how this goes. All right, they're up to number 8 now. Let's see, there's the competition. I don't care about that. All right, argue endlessly about Italy and Garibaldi. It sounds like we're going to have a word for argue without its ending, and that's going to go around I, R, IT for Italy. I'm wondering if it's going to be Garibaldi is a biscuit. I remember in school in Ireland, our teacher asking us what biscuit was named after a famous Italian, and I came up with Polo biscuits, Marco Polo, but that was the wrong answer. So that's the only reason I know a Garibaldi is a biscuit. So that's a no bicker. Oh, Bicky, there we go. It is. All right, that's not a bad start. Now, I think when I've written Bicky in the past, I've done it with two Ks, but I'm sure that's right. Okay, black ice. Two vessels getting closer to disaster following a line. Oh dear. No idea about that. Oh, and if you haven't seen one of these crosswords before, yeah, I didn't do them when I lived back in Ireland or when I visited, but they're very different. And usually, and this was my experience with the first one, very obscure vocabulary. So they're not only tricky because of the structure, but also the words they use. I think the wordplay might be a little more challenging as well, although Picky was simple enough, I think. While happy with capital of Turkey, what about visiting Cyprus? Well, capital of Turkey, I'm thinking is going to be a T. While it could be as, but I'm wondering about if not. Oh, maybe while is the definition, or is it Cyprus? Don't see that. Produce young fish in container, that which may have caught them up. All right, I think the way that's worded makes it sound like something that might have caught fish up. Although the up in a down clue then makes me think about a reversal. Ooh, that which may have caught them would be a net. And if that was up, we would end in 10. Oh, I'm wondering if the definition is produce and it's going to be some kind of fruit or vegetable. Young fish in container. Yeah, it doesn't leave us a lot of room for a young fish inside a can or something, tin. Yeah, I'm thinking now that might be the definition at the end, some kind of net beginning with K, or a word for a fishing boat, trawler. No, not seeing it. Former president spending money and very high note. I'm thinking we have to think of a former president and spend or remove a letter or word for money. And it's going to then give us a very high note. Well, high C. No, but the exclamation makes me think it's not as straightforward as a high note that you play or sing. I love your heart, regularly lost before the day starts. Well, that sounds like, we see clues like this where you have to regularly remove letters. So I don't think it's going to be IOE, but then again, LVY doesn't sound right. And is it before the day starts, a word for dawn? Oh, there is that aurora. Is that what we sometimes see that word for dawn in the daily? Let me put it in. We do have yes, so your heart is, oh no, that's OU. Oh dear. Oh, your heart regularly would be ER. Oh, and love might just be O. Yeah, let's try 5 across then. Take in muscles by I. Well, I'm wondering if the muscles could be abs and by I, and it's going to mean take in. Take in as in money, take in as in fool. No, I think it's maybe going to be take in as to see, to apprehend, to understand, to take in. Yeah, this I think is not going to be a very successful video. Yeah, if you're watching this, I'll be very surprised. Indian tree close to reception. Well, I'm wondering about an Indian, and then we have a 4-letter tree, maybe beginning with S, and the closing letter of reception, an N. Now, is that going to be an Indian from India, the country, or a member of a tribe? Yeah, not seeing that. In Istanbul, wait is all right. I'm thinking, can wait be abbreviated to W, although that doesn't look good for 5 across, but I mean, walk, WOK. But how is that in Istanbul? Yeah. Preserve element of rule. First, don't mention it to Klopp or that other guy. He's the manager of Spurs, I think, right? 12 and, oh yeah, that's another funny thing about these grid crosswords. They don't tell you by convention how many letters in each of the 2 words. But at least with this one, we know the definition should be at the beginning. Preserve could be some kind of a jam. Preserve element. I'll rule first. No, then again, yeah, it might be something you don't mention to a manager. Over the moon. No. All right. Duck and cover ahead of fire down the line. Yeah, I'm not even sure about that U. But I'm wondering if we start with a duck, eider, gander, and cover, lid, ahead of fire, and then down the line like ancestral. No, fastidiousness, removing jacket with each drink. Well, speaking of drink, I brought my coffee up with me, so I'm going to pause, sip my coffee, and look at this one and any of the others. I think I might have this one. I think because I correctly parsed it, if I'm right, as a drink. And so 6 letters, 2 words, I immediately thought of ice tea. Now, I think it might also be iced with a D, tea. But fastidiousness might be nicety, and that removes its jacket or the outer letters. And then with each would be EA. So that's the best I can do. Oh, could this be kitten as a verb? I I suppose, a cow can calve when it produces a calf. Does a female cat kitten? Because I'm wondering if it's produce young. Now, I don't know what fish in container is. No, but we do have our net coming up. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Here is our while happy. While as in maybe while away, spending time. I don't know. Happy, cheerful. It doesn't have a T in it. And then what about, oh, Cyprus, I think is CY. Ah, well, we have a C at the beginning, but I don't think it's going to be CYE. But I'm wondering if it ends in while happy clemency. But why the while? And then the capital of Turkey. That's Istanbul, right? What about? Yeah. Oh, our former president, very high note. Oh, former could be X, but I don't think it's going to be EXA. Yeah. All right, started dropping Australian after Stokes was out. Now, I presume there is a cricketer called Stokes. Out, of course, anagram indicator, but oh, could it have? I don't know. Maybe with Stokes, an Australian premier and Australian who came after him. I don't know. I am wondering about started. I don't know, maybe was out is the definition as in slept. But I'm thinking started dropping. That's either the definition or maybe the D that starts the word dropping. No. Plane returning, empty, the craft perhaps, fixed course. Ooh, is it a fixed course in a restaurant? What do you call that? A la carte. Plane returning sounds like we reverse a word for plane. Ooh, which could be a Lano, Yano. Could it be? Empty. Oh, maybe it's EP. You empty out plane and then return it. The craft, perhaps. Fixed course. Epoxied. Eponymous. No. Question for Buddhist: controlling study of the sacred language. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be maybe an old sacred language that's very obscure. What is a question for Buddhist? Why or how? I'm wondering though if study is den, and it might simply be that question, how. Well, no, it wouldn't be a NW. Why? Yes, well, but then the WHD, no. Controlling study. Yeah, maybe another word for study. But I am thinking it's going to be a sacred language. I might look up some sacred languages of different religions and see if anything pops up. Let me move myself. Black ice. Let me pause. All right, one thing I meant to mention at the beginning was that I would be using whatever aids are available to me for this because of the degree of difficulty. So if you don't approve of that, then stop watching now because that's just what I'm going to do. Anyway, I went to wordplays.com to see what words begin with B have I in the third place. And pretty close to the top, I saw brinkmanship, which I think is, the definition is getting close to disaster following a line. I think just that's a sort of very cryptic way of describing brinkmanship. And black is B, ice is a rink, as in a skating rink. Now, two vessels, well, one is obviously a ship. I don't know why a man, yeah, like a man of war. I think, I'm not sure why we call it a man of war, but I think that must be it. All right, I'll try not to use the helps unless I really have to, but this should give me some nice starting letters on the left side, although it doesn't immediately help me with my sacred language. Oh, a question, I think, is a koa or koan, K-O-A-N, yeah, K-O-A-N. Oh, I think it's a language. Ah, yes, study of the sacred is religious education, and so it's just a language. Well, that's, yeah, and I have to say, other than if I'm understanding, I think the definition of kitten is a bit funny, but otherwise I don't think the words are too bad. Of course, famous last words. Let's see. Facetiously, one location where indicator is 3 feet back. Oh my goodness. 3 feet a yard. Yeah, no idea about that. Happy with no quality street. I do love quality street. Although I think maybe there are better options nowadays. Anyway, it was an important part of Christmas back in the day. So happy with, is that the definition? And then no quality street. Yeah, something like, I don't know, word for no quality, and then road, like arch road. No, something way, maybe. Yeah, what's going to come between the A and the C? Another C, an S. Oh, maybe it's a street. Famous street. No, I thought that would be easier. Native American, companion for Paul, going west with Chinese. Oh my goodness. Is it going to be a Native American member of a tribe, which I thought Six Down might be? There's the sequoia tree, but I'm wondering if there are sequoia people. Of course, I've no idea why that would be. I think it would fit. Going west, I think we're going to reverse something. With Chinese, or might be Asian. Is there a famous companion for Paul? Is that Paul the disciple? Paul the crossword setter? Oh, Peter and Paul. Fly away Peter, fly away Paul. Saltpeter. Oh, if it's Peter going backwards. Oh my goodness, I can't even write words backwards. That would go in somewhere. Doesn't mean anything to me. No, rock rabbit by following heartless monster. Yeah, I think we're going to, I think the definition must be rock. But is that the verb to rock? Which can be a gentle rocking, or it can be a more violent rocking. It can be rock music. But I was thinking geology. And then rabbit, to rabbit on is to talk, as I like to do. But then that would have to follow a heartless monster. What's a heartless monster beginning with H? Oh no, that we don't get an I there. Refuse or refuse, drug and alcohol. Yeah, I'm wondering if it is. I think it's going to be a charade, a word for refuse and a word for drug, and that makes alcohol, or a word for drug with alcohol, a word for alcohol that makes refuse or refuse. The P is throwing me. I can't really think of anything either for refuse or drug. I'm thinking of alcohol, Pernod. Let me put it in. Nod. I know drug addicts can nod sometimes. There's no, which might be refuse. Yeah, I don't think. Now, refuse could be saying to reverse. Yeah, so maybe some drug. Maybe even the word and is important. And that would give us our alcohol. No. All right, let's go back to the Downs. Class, hoodie, wasted opportunity to learn. Oh, I'm seeing school, school something. Is it, maybe opportunity to learn, school time? So is class equal to school? I don't know about that. And then hoodie wasted gives us the last four letters. Schoolyard, schoolroom. What's another name for a hoodie? No, that would be a great one to get though, but clarifying with more words except IE and EG maddeningly. Oh, could maddeningly be an anagram indicator? And we anagram what? IE and EG gives us four letters. Oh, maybe except IE, EG. That's an awful lot of E's. And I would have thought, oh, it's funny, clarifying is misspelt. There's an extra I in there. Is that intentional? Or are they just keeping up the Guardian traditions now that they're a separate company? Except IEEG, clarifying with more words. What would that be? No. Skin designs. Oh, I'd like that to be tattoos. Earlier, covering over armadillos. I'm thinking no, it's going to be another name or a type of armadillo. Who we see a lot of here in Texas. And I'm thinking skin designs earlier, like maybe an old word for tattoos. Oh, was there an earlier spelling like TATU? I know there's an alternative spelling of taboo we had recently. And then over, I'm thinking is O. All right, I'm going to look up Wikipedia on armadillos. Well, I couldn't see any other names for armadillos other than in other languages. But then thought, well, maybe the definition is the covering over them, their armor, their scales. Apparently, the name for those scales is scutes, SCUTES. They're made from keratin. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that's going to be. I did, though, glance down at banish dreadfully, which reads like one of our daily clues, anagram of banish for a rubbish container. Well, I spotted bin, and then the remaining letters make ash. So thankfully that was an easy one where Gemelo, or whoever writes this, does it say who created this? No, it's probably one of these where it's anonymous. Anyway, I'm transfixed by clown, one with resolution to come back only partly funny. Well, the first part sounds like the wordplay. I think we're going to put I am inside of a clown. Oh, it might be one of the famous clowns. And then one with resolution to come back only. And then is the definition funny or partly? Oh, tragic comic. Yeah, we do have I am going backwards, I think. I'm helped here if I'm right. Because we had that word in a crossword not too long ago. And I think I'm might simply be I. And it's surrounded by a clown is a comic. And then one with resolution to come back only partly. I think the maybe GART is one with resolution, but only partly. No, only partly is part of the definition. One with resolution. Yeah, I don't understand that, but that's the best I can do. All right. Ooh, where Canberra is to exert influence. I'm thinking act. Where Canberra is, I don't know, what's the name of the Australian territory? Yeah, I think they might, because, well, I think it might be like a government like Washington, D.C., but let me pause and look that up. Yes, that's it, exactly it. Australian Capital Territory. All right, person sitting around, bodies mostly European. I think it might be a person sitting round. I don't know, like an idler or a something or other. And then I think we have a word for bodies, but mostly. So we're going to drop a letter. And then European might simply be E. Oh, what are bodies? Yeah, I should be able to get that one. No, well, torsos. Torso, is that a word for a person sitting around? I know, because I think it would just be, they would define it as body European, maybe. Torso E. Yeah, ooh, 21 seems like, well, I was going to say Brahma. Infatuation over months for under fleeces. Yeah, maybe tragic comic is wrong. Ashbin seems pretty much a gimme. So an infatuation, oh, that can be a pash. Oh, well, maybe it is something to do with pashmina. So a pash is an infatuation over months. I mean, MM. Let me look up Pashma or something like that. Ah, okay, so here I think is where we get some of these obscure words. I think relating to Pashmina, the word Pasham means wool in Persian, but also refers to the raw unspun wool, which I think might be the under fleeces. Anyway, I think months is MS, and so we get this very odd word, pashams. Now, maybe some of you know that. I had us off to you. That's the best I can come up with. All right, persons sitting around, or person, or could it be a European? Some nationality. Can't think of one beginning with T. No. Ooh, but that BI. Yes, I think tragicomic must be right. Just as much volume seen in weird cut. Just as much, maybe, is the definition. And a volume, which could have many meanings, might be put inside. Ooh, could it be in an anagram of cut, weird cut? I would think if it's two words, maybe the second word is either bit. Oh, I'm wondering about every bit. So just as much, he's every bit the blacksmith that Bobby is, or something. I don't know. So volume seen in weird cut. No, it makes sense to me, but I don't see how the wordplay would work. Let's see if we might have a V here. Ponder newspaper article. Well, I'm going to ponder that while I refill my coffee. I'm not finding any good words for this, so I think I'm going to get rid of that. Yeah, I still think the B and the I are right. Something else, bit, or something ending in B, in, it, is. Weird cut. No. All right, but I did go, I Googled just the two words rock rabbit, and apparently there's something called a rock hyrax, medium-sized terrestrial mammal. So, because I figured out that it might be by following heartless monster, and the monster is the hydra, and we drop out the D, and then by can be X in mathematics, 5 times 5 by something X. Ooh, all right. So spoil, could this be RR? Yeah, and then YT doesn't seem very likely. All right, I'm thinking my tragic comic. It might still be some kind of only partly funny. Yeah, I don't know. All right, but if it is school days, class hoodie, wasted, opportunity, I'm gonna go with days. Ooh, yeah, there's the other word, serio comic. So then, resolution as in res, yeah, going backwards. But then I and O, I'm transfixed by clown. One. Oh, and maybe the word to comes back. On, no, no, only partly funny. I keep forgetting as part of the definition. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, this may not be right either, but at least now I have RE, spoil market without trouble. I think spoil must be the definition, and we have to think of a word for market and remove a word for trouble. I don't know what that's going to be. All right, how about our, I haven't looked at this one yet. Bracken surrounding international office of the Pope. Oh, I'm wondering if this is some ecclesiastical term for the office of the Pope. Because I think we're going to put a word for bracken. I think international is simply going to be I, which has to go there. And then the office of the Pope, something like Diarro, or what's bracken? Oh, like heather. There's certainly a lot of bracken near where I grew up. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Wikipedia and look up bracken. Well, I went to word plays and I didn't see any words that I liked. I also looked up looked up bracken first. The person who wrote the Wikipedia article is obviously not a fan of bracken, but it does seem to be a pretty pernicious plant. Fern, it's in the fern family. Maybe fern, but I did wonder, there is something about the Pope having a tiara. And so then I Googled Bracken Tara, and apparently there is a scientist called Tara Bracken. Is she famous enough to make it to the crossword? I've never heard of Tara Bracken. Anyway, I'm going to leave it in. All right, so refuse, drug, and alcohol. No idea. And then what is my spoil? Let me pause and look up the words beginning with RE. I didn't get that, but I thought, well, if I can get 30 across, it'll solve it for me. And of course, I realized drug can be pot. And actually, I first realized that alcohol can be ale. So I looked up potale is a distiller's waste, so it's refuse. Now there's another strange word, hyrax, potale. What was the other one we had? Anyway, yeah, I think that must be right. I want to say tisane, but I don't think that's right. No, that would give IA. Doesn't seem right. Oh, I 10 down. Looks like it ends in IC. Oh yeah, so it might be an anagram of except, IE, EG. Yeah, let me pause and work that one up. Work it out. My brain is turning to mush or distiller's waste, and see if I can work it out on paper. All right, I thought it was going to start with EX, but it's actually, and I got this by coming up with a word that began with EX, and Google said, oh, well, there is this other word. And so it's apexegetic. Additional explanation. All right. At least I could sort of figure out how the wordplay would work, but a very tricky word there. Where do we have some? Ooh, here's another one I haven't looked at yet. Self-confidence is good in gambling game. I'm thinking it might be ego, and I'm wondering if there's a gambling game called EO and you put G for good inside it. Self-confidence, is that the same as ego? I think it's close enough. Let's see. Oh, that was the dropping Australian. Now, if it was Paul doing a daily crossword started dropping, I would have some thoughts about this, but dropping Australian. I mean, maybe it's a word for started, and you drop AU or OZ for Australian after Stokes was out. No, does that E doesn't really help me, I'm sure, just as much. Oh, that is looking a little bit like every bit, isn't it? I mean, V for volume in, oh, weird could be eerie. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, I think I should have thought about that a little more. But then is bit the same as cut? Like, I suppose the wind bit into me, the wind cut into me. I think it's close enough. All right, but what then is my person sitting round? Bodies mostly. Could it be something to do with testes? But I'm wondering if a testee might be somebody sitting a test. Oh, yeah, maybe person sitting an exam is a testee. And then round bodies, oh, I bet those are the testes mostly, with our E for European. Aye, aye, aye. Oh, I haven't looked at this one, and it ends in a nice OE. Klutz, that is moving home. Oh, I'm wondering about moving might be an anagram of home at the end. Then it would be MHOE or HMOE. And the definition would be klutz. And then that is, I mean, could be IE, IEM ho, no. What's a klutz? Like butterfingers? Is there something to do with toes? Butter toes, tiptoes. Something Joe, co, do. No mo, ro, so. No? Oh, maybe home is the definition, but OE? Oh, it could be a home as in a, I don't know, an old people's home or an orphanage. All right. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be CY. But we do have a few more letters. How do how do I get rid of that? All right, that's going to be as good as it gets. All right, begins with C. Yeah, cheerful. Oh, 17. Yeah, sorry. Facetiously. One location where indicator is 3 feet back. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be MOF or indicator. Yeah, I think 3 feet, I think we have to come up with yard somehow. A yard arm. That's not an indicator though. Yardstick. Yard something or other. All right, at least I think I'm doing better than I did last time, the only other time I've tried this. Native American companion for Paul going west with Chinese. All right, I think I'm going to go to word plays for this one. Well, I see there is a Native American tribe of Southwest California, the Salinans. So what's our companion for Paul going west with Chinese? No, I've no idea why that would be right. Let's see if I can confirm with the A. Klutz. That is moving home. All right, back to word plays. There are only 3 possibilities at wordplays.com. One is a tennis player who I think I have heard of, Tiafo. I don't know, are they famously a klutz, or is that part of the wordplay? The other, there's a winter coat, and Lapo, which is certainly obscure enough to make it into this crossword, or an American TV host, Shadow Stevens. I do remember the name. Yeah, so I'm thinking Salinans is probably wrong. Although let's look at 14 down. Oh, I haven't looked at this one. Have I? Creator of burner phone snubbed to a certain extent on the way up. Again, being a down clue on the way up, I think is going to be a reversal. I think it might be a creator. Maybe it is a god in some other religion, or another name for the deity. Do we separate burner plus phone? And then I think we shorten it again, snubbed to a certain extent, going up. But maybe there is, what is a term for, I always see them in movies and television programs, and they always have to snap the phone with their hands at the end and then stamp on it. Yeah, not sure about this. Oh, I haven't looked at this one. Increasingly highly valued. Ooh, well, I think that would be an ER, and I'm thinking about dearer. Highly valued letter opener previously sent to Palace. No idea why that would be right. Other than increasingly highly valued is dearer. So then letter opener, surely that's an L. Previously sent to a palace. No, I am really not confident in my TFO. Yeah, I mean, it's probably some other very obscure word, so obscure that it isn't even in wordplays.com. I did look here earlier for in wordplays 8 letters beginning with AL. I did see all right, which, yeah, I think when it's 2 L's, I think it is 2 words. But I don't know why no quality street would be all right. But happy with, yeah, I'm all right with it. While happy with capital of Turkey. What about visiting Cyprus? Oh, maybe visiting Cyprus is not that it ends with, but that it goes inside. Um, yeah, but then I think while. Yeah, this is going to be awkward going between the E and the R and then the R and the L. But ly does make sense for a while adverb. Oh, like coterminously, covertly, well, that was happy. And then the T is going to go inside of the happy word, I think. What about visit? Oh, yeah, and we need what about. Yeah, all right, let me try word plays. Oh, yeah, my tablet's battery is running low. Well, I couldn't come up with anything better than cheerily. So I'm going to leave that in. And then I looked at on word plays at this one. Oh no, yeah, I came up with a word, but I realized I didn't try with my E at the end. The word was shin guards and some kind of cover ahead of fire down the line. But yeah, I'm very confident in my exegetic word. All right, let me try that again. Not getting anything. I looked up varieties of duck, and of course, duck could be a duck egg, and a no for 0. Um, no, so I'm not sure about that. Oh, yeah, I should be able to get my former president spending money. Very high note. No. I did, though, look at word plays for this one. Of course, to take something in is to absorb it, and the eye is just an orb. All right, that was in Istanbul. Wait is all right. I don't know, maybe it's a word for a wait in Turkish. Good Lord. And then we have, oh yeah, preserve element. Oh, I mean, it's looking like an orange at the end. 2 words. Not blood orange. I don't know what orange would have to do with a football manager. I know they give out the orange slices at halftime. I can imagine Klopp bringing them around on a tray. Preserve. Oh, yes, of course. A preserve might be some kind of. Oh, what? Well, marmalade, but. Oh, is there a brandy orange? I don't. Where you preserve it with brandy? I don't know. It sounds delicious, doesn't it? Um, bloody orange? No. Oh dear, oh dear. That was our skin designs. Oh yeah. How I'm coming to terms with my selenins, and that's my klutz. That is moving home. Oh, I wish there was a check me button. All right, let me try word plays. There is the word schmo, and I can sort of see a schmo. To me, it's not the same as a klutz, but anyway, I think it might be close enough. So I think then Salinans would be wrong. School days, I'm still not sure. Actually, a lot of these I'm still not sure of. Even, well, Tara, I think I can live with. All right, that was our burner phone. No, I have nothing for that. If that isn't Salinans, then maybe it is some Chinese people, Native American companion for Paul, going west. Peter, Paul, and Mary. No, skin designs. All right, I'm back to this. All right, but this one now, let me get rid of the R. I do feel like all happy with no quality street. All bushy, all pushy, all something. Yeah, if that is S. Oh no, of course, we don't know if that's an H or not. Happy with no quality street. No, I think I'm going to call this one. We're over an hour for the video. I will put a warning on not to watch it unless you enjoy seeing people being ineffectual and confused. Then this is right up your alley. All right, I have no idea. I will post this video next week as a bonus and watch it, whoever dares. Oh, there goes the battery power. All right, well, thanks as always for watching and have a better day than I'm having right now.